do I look, dude? Are you sure?
All right.
How you been, brother?
Good.
Good, me too. Been a while. I don't want you waiting on me.
So.
Thank you for having me here. But
Yeah,
you could take your time, baby.
All right. Cool.
My name's Fred Seghetti.
Says
How you
preview,
guys doing
but,
out there? Yeah, there's no hurry. Oh yeah.
So,
Waiting for all the people to load up and be like, yeah, tune
just testing out
in.
the
Let's
angles
get
real
hooked
quick.
up. Yeah, do what you gotta do, brother. The
not
World
sure
Wide
whether
Web,
it's
baby.
ready. I'm gonna go live.
Let's go live, man.
Maybe it's a severe lag. Let's do it. There we go. It's just lagging. All right. Welcome to the people of Portland and beyond, episode 55. I'm going to go ahead and call this the first episode of season 2. Fred being the first guest to officially return to the show. He was previously on episode 22, so it's pretty cool that actually he's on episode 55 too.
Thank you for having me, sir. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Glad to be here.
So Fred, you mentioned on the first show that you were looking for musicians on Craigslist. Have you succeeded in your search since you were last on the show on episode 22?
I did have some success reaching out to a few people, but the majority of them just didn't work out due to a myriad of reasons. Most of them personal, between the people. So I did have a few people try out, but in the end, it didn't really work out. So that's a yes and no question. Yeah, yes and no. Are my vocals good?
Yeah. You also mentioned on the last show that you like serving people. You like serving in the military. So how do you feel that you serve Portland?
Oh, well, in many ways, I make the world look better through my art and, through my, merchandise and products that I create that are pretty and beautiful.
Yeah.
I also make the world sound better through my music, and I don't make any music with hate or bad lyrics or anything like that. I create family-friendly music, radio-ready music.
Yeah.
And then I also make the world taste better through my spices. And then my new project right now is being an advocate for the deaf in the local community. And, letting people know, be aware that there are deaf people out there, and they're just like you and me. They're just not able to hear, but that doesn't mean they can't do a job. They can't be hired or, be paid the same as a normal person. In fact, I think they're better employees because they're not, distracted by noises, for example. Anyway, that's just one thing,
Going back to when you were on an Army interrogator, how do you feel that being an Army interrogator has helped you in your normal life? Have you ever used it in your real life? And what are some ways that you use this skill in like everyday life?
Yeah, I gotcha. One of the ways is being able to read people's body language and understanding and listening to what they're saying and how they're saying it.
Yeah.
What we call the paralinguistics. It's a myriad of things. Yeah, I take a whole bunch of different, signals that I'm getting from the individual, and then my mind just kind of analyzes that just like a computer would, and then I can determine or whatever if someone is bullshitting me or not. Yeah, pretty much.
Did they ever have you use the lie detector when you were there?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I've been hooked up to a lie detector. I've hooked up probably thousands of people to a lie detector in my short time as military intelligence, human intelligence collector. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you were able to get past the lie detector, no problem? Or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I personally passed. Yes, I'm not a bad guy. Yes, absolutely. But
How do you do
through
it?
my line of work, being hooking other people up to a machine, a lot of people are actually more not honest, Yeah.
How do you get past the lie detector?
Well, they actually say that there's really no. Oh, okay. Well, in theory, there's no real way to pass a lie detector. You beat the operator of the polygraph machine. But in theory, you know what? Actually, I probably shouldn't be telling you this. So no, let me just leave it at that. No, so that you cannot pass a polygraph test. What you do is you beat the operator, not the machine. You cannot beat the machine. I'll leave it
Okay.
at that. Yeah.
All right.
But there's other stuff out there that I can't say and comment. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's a really good thing. Yes and no. That's a yes or no answer. Yes, you can, but no, you can't. And I can't say anything because there's more to it than that, and I don't want to give out
When you were
trade secrets of the military.
So you were administering tests, like you were the person giving people lie detector tests.
Yep, and I was also a trainer too for a very short time.
Nice.
Yeah, but I was also a student too, so I was learning as I was doing it. But yeah, I was one of the few people that was actually doing it, in Afghanistan during Operation and during Freedom 16 and 17.
Okay.
So I think, I don't know, 2011, 2012, I believe.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Nice. And how many people failed and how many people passed? Like, was there a percentage?
Yeah, I would think so. I think the majority of the people are very nice. They want to do what's best for their family. They just want to support their family and make some money and, help America.
Yeah.
So how many of them failed? I would say the majority of them passed.
Okay.
The majority passed. There's just a few bad apples,
And when
that spoil it for everyone.
those people failed, did they say like, "Oh, I'm innocent. The test is wrong"? Did they say?
Well, honestly, we wouldn't tell them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we would tell them, but not in the way that you and I would do it in America. It would be done a little bit differently and subtly. And actually, no, most of them, they may or may not even know if they passed.
Mm.
But the ones that did pass, no, they would easily lie to you and tell you whatever you want to hear. So, no, actually, I was surprised by some of the tests when they came back.
Okay.
Some of the people seemed genuine, and then when you actually saw the test results, like,
Interesting.
came back,
Some people are just nervous.
red, and in our line of work, red means, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. You mentioned that you used to work out at home. Now, you were saying it was better than going to the gym, which I agree with. So what kind of workouts have you been doing at home? What's your regimen right now?
Definitely working out at home, I feel, is a great way to get your exercise, without driving and without paying a membership. You just, start off with your stretching or your warm up, or stretching and warm up. And then, you do your strength training exercises. Generally, compound exercises are better.
Yeah.
The more muscle groups you use simultaneously at the same time and engage in your core is always beneficial. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I still do that.
So which ones are you doing, like specifically crunches? Or you
a
doing,
lot of push-ups,
squats?
a lot of push-ups, a lot of sit-ups. I do a lot of hiking, so walking and hiking.
Where are you hiking?
Powell Butte.
Oh, I was there. It's a great place.
Yep. I live right nearby that, and I'm at the bottom of the hill,
Nice.
and so I just hike up and down. Before I know it, by the time I'm done, I've done 6 miles, and I feel great. And sometimes you get to see horses out there. You get to see, scenery, animal, wildlife.
Sweet. Yeah.
Oh, on a great day, you can see the mountains. Both mountains.
Mount Hood?
Yeah. Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I was going to ask you.
But yeah, I still do the workout. I still try to eat healthy.
Yeah.
That's why I created that spice company that has no salt, no sugar, and hopefully soon.
How old were you when you started that?
What's that?
How old were you when you started that spice company?
It was just after I got back from Afghanistan. So 2013, 2014. So how many years is that?
You were
7 years now.
Inspired when you were in Afghanistan to do it?
Yeah. The whole top secret thing has been inspired by my job. Not everybody agreed with my use of the top secret stamp
That's cool.
on my food, and I understand that, and I apologize to those who are offended that think that somehow by putting this on there it's now classified, but it's not. It's just classified recipe that makes your food taste good and is healthy for you.
Yeah.
And it's a play on my military career.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's all in good fun.
Hey, when you spent 13 months in Afghanistan, What was the most memorable event you experienced?
Lots of memorable events. I think the most memorable to me would be stepping foot in a part of the world that no other American or civilized nation had set foot in a while.
Mm.
Yeah. So obviously meeting the people, seeing the people, but really working with the special forces,
Yeah.
and then working in an austere environment in a part of the world that not many of us have, you know, been able to visit.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah. Honestly, working with the special forces in Afghanistan would be my biggest highlight, and being able to do my job that I was trained for. Yeah.
Nice.
So a lot of things happened during that time,
Yeah.
but my biggest thing is just literally knocking on the door in the middle of the night
Yeah.
on a Navy SEAL Special Forces top secret classified base, and then saying, "Hi, I'm here to help you guys out," and then waking up the next morning and it's a beautiful day, and I walk out of my tent, and I got my my civilian Afghanistan wear, and then I look out and all these Navy SEAL guys are just wearing these little tiny short green Ranger panties,
Yeah.
and they're all just like, it's like walking on a set of 300, obviously way more in shape than I was. So that would be the highlight, honestly, dude. Just
Nice.
yeah, and then not getting killed, in the process.
Yeah.
Because normally when you walk up to a special forces base unannounced, they don't
Did you
really
have any
take they don't take kindly to strangers.
Yeah. Did you have any friends that got killed or anything when you were out there?
Yeah, we had a few. I didn't know every one of them personally. I just knew of them by name.
Yeah.
Yes. I wasn't prepared for this question. Yeah,
Sorry,
there was
yeah.
definitely a Navy SEAL that got killed in Bala Murghab.
Mhm.
I want to say his name was William. We
Yeah.
called him Bill. And then there was a whole team of Marine Special Operations guys
Yeah.
that just arrived in country, came back from a mission. This was in Herat, Afghanistan. I know it was one of them was named Schwimmer. The last name, last name was Dolphin.
Okay.
These guys were way better veterans than anybody, and
Yeah.
they ended up getting killed in their sleep due to an electrical fire that broke out in
Wow.
their little camp, and then they died. It wasn't even, it was kind of silly. They shouldn't probably have died, but yeah. So I did know, and we tried to, save them, but there was nothing you can do in a raging inferno.
Yeah, that's
With,
true.
yeah, with rounds popping off and things going. It was a bad day. So yeah, and there's more. Yeah, there's more, but that's just who was personally in my area that I was aware of. Yeah.
Were you like really good friends with them, or you just heard about it?
Bill.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't remember his last name, but yeah, Bill. I did know he was one of the Navy SEALs that greeted me and was really nice to me
Uh-huh.
when I went to the Bala Murghab, base.
Mm.
I want to say it was Fob Todd. I can't remember, but yeah, that was the name of the base. But
And who has to like write home when that happens? The captain or?
well, no, they had a mission to do,
Yeah.
and they knew the dangers, and unfortunately, he just wasn't, quite fast enough to get over the wall. I mean, no one really knew that was going to happen, but that's
Yeah.
the way it was, and but he was well taken care of in the during that time, and the
His
doc
family's
there.
got compensation and all that.
Well, no, he didn't survive.
Oh,
Yeah, so
The
he didn't
family
survive,
gets-
but the doc there took care of him and made sure that he was,
Yeah.
he was well taken care of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When you mentioned you were in Germany on the last podcast, actually. And did you ever meet anybody there that thought Hitler was a good person? Because I've actually talked to people that say that they meet people in certain areas of Germany and they ignore the fact that all this stuff happened, and they think it's all propaganda. Now, have you ever met anyone like that when you were there?
Yes, yeah, but most of them were civilians. None of them in the military.
Okay.
If they were in the military, they were just talking out of their asses. But the real, true, diehard Nazis were in Germany.
Yeah.
They were there. They were out there in your face. But I did not know any of them personally. But yes, there are quite a few active groups in Germany, around the Frankfurt area.
Yeah.
That's all I can speak of. Yeah. So yeah, there were, but I don't know any of them personally. But yeah, you're right. There are a lot of them that they believe in, in that thing, and that's okay. It's nationalism and fascism. So if you're into that, that's great. I believe in America you have a right to believe whatever you want to believe, but you just don't do acts of violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see anybody driving down what is the highway called? The Autobahn or something? That like super fast?
Oh, the Autobahn, yeah.
Yeah.
The Autobahn.
How fast did you drive?
For me, as fast as my vehicle went, so at the time was an Audi.
Yeah.
I believe it was an A6. I mean, dude, it was in excess of 120 something kilometers. Yeah, more than 100 miles an hour.
Nice.
Oh yeah, easily. As far as if I remember correctly, yeah.
Did you see any accidents, or is it actually safer?
No, I saw a few accidents, but yeah, mostly it mostly involved the 18-wheelers. Yeah, but my dad was also in Germany. He witnessed an accident on a bridge, and he said that the guy was driving so fast he hit one of those metal support beams. The car obliterated, and his brain was just on the fucking Autobahn. Yeah, but no, I never witnessed it personally. No, actually, I think it's the Autobahn's safe.
Is it just the Autobahn that has the speed limit unlimited, or is it?
No, it's mostly around the world, but there are some designated signs. But no, I think for the most part, as long as you're
not in like a neighborhood, though, you can't drive.
Not in the city and not in the neighborhoods. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you're out in the outskirts of town. Yeah, for the most part, it's yeah.
Do people drive motorcycles as fast as they want on the Autobahn?
Yes, they do. Yeah, but you don't really see them too much. You might around the big cities, but
Definitely
if you're traveling from big city to big city, not too much. Everybody drives car.
No one's crazy enough to do a bicycle over there, I would say.
I would be, yeah. Some of them, yeah. But yeah, I didn't see too many.
Yeah.
Back then.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely, yeah, dude, I love motorcycles, man. I'm actually waiting on my new Kawasaki to arrive here any day now that I pre-ordered.
Yeah, I did see that on Instagram.
Kawasaki been giving me a hard time on that and not being honest about when my bike was going to come in that I ordered last year. But now it's arrived. It's not put together. It's still in a crate.
You're going to put
it in a warehouse.
Together?
So I haven't really officially.
Do you work on cars?
Taken keys. I do work on cars. Yeah, I enjoy working on cars. I love working on everything.
Who taught you how to work on cars?
First, it was my dad.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah, on a Chevy Silverado.
How old were you?
1990, early 90s Silverado 1500 truck. And then from there, it just branched out to racing cars and rotary engines. And then when I joined the Army, I went to diesel. And then pretty much anything. And now I'm into, high-tech stuff like, nuclear and ion-powered engines for space, So, yeah, I love all kinds of technology and engineering. I'm not an engineer, but I do play one on TV.
Very cool. Well, I am going to start our first segment. And this is a segment, it's like a game show type thing.
Oh, my goodness.
And what it is...
Springing something on me, huh?
Is there's going to be 4 Portland laws. And one of those laws is going to be fake. 3 of them are going to be real. Now you're going to tell me which law is the fake one.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
I'm going to try my best. I really don't like laws.
Right.
I mean, except the bad ones. Murdering and all that, yeah, I'm okay for. But this traffic stuff, man, I don't know. Bike lanes and bus lanes and train lanes always confuse me.
All right, we're going to start the questioning right now. So. First one.
Please forgive me for my ignorance, folks. Because I'm from Texas. I don't know Oregon or Portland laws. I'm
All right.
bad. I'm sorry.
No problem. That'll be funny then. All right. In Portland, a person is in violation of city code for laying, standing, sitting, or climbing on any fixtures located inside a public restroom that are not intended for that purpose.
Oh my gosh.
It's also unlawful for 2 or more people to occupy a public restroom designed for one person, unless the person is helping a child, elderly person, or disabled individual.
Wow.
You know what public restrooms are designed for, so use them for their rightful purpose. Second one, highways are not for human waste. A person can get knocked with a misdemeanor for improperly disposing of human waste
Yeah.
by operating a motor vehicle and throwing waste out the window or leaving it on the roadside. So if you're desperate for a bathroom, don't turn the highway into one.
Ah.
All right, so that's 2 so far.
Yeah.
Here, let's go with another one. Keep the kids in the car.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to throw your waste out. That's kind of yucky. That's a biohazard thing. But, the 2 people in a bathroom, I mean, as long as everyone's consensual and there's nothing illegal going on in there, I think it's okay. But, yeah, especially if you got a special needs child, it may take more than one person to help,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now for number 3.
Oh, well.
Carrying a minor on the hood, fender, running board, open truck bed, or any other external part of a motor vehicle on a highway is a Class B traffic violation.
Yeah.
A few exceptions to the rule: parades for employment or hunting trip. If a minor is in a truck bed and secured with a seatbelt, or if all other available seatbelts are in use, it's logical, but really keep the kids buckled up and in the car. And the 4th and final one is you are not allowed to wear roller skates in public bathrooms in any Portland restroom facilities or shower facilities. So out of all those 4, tell me which one is the fake one. If you want me to repeat them, let me know.
No, I don't need you to repeat them, but I'm just like, the one I'm saying is the last one got to be bullshit. I'm sorry if I can say bullshit, but, that would be the fake one. But at the same time, dude, Portland is just that crazy enough to have a law like that. So I'm going to say D is the fake one. All the other ones sound plausible.
Okay.
But
yeah, you're right, actually. You got it.
I was right. Oh, God, thank God.
Because
I was like, you know what?
Because the other ones
it was going to be wrong, and it was like, oh, Portland failed.
The other ones have longer descriptions, so I think that gives it away.
But you know what? Portland would be crazy enough to pass a roller skating law. No roller skating in bathrooms, folks, so you don't hurt yourselves. I can just hear people now talking about that. Yeah. I have kids. I wouldn't want them rolling in the bathroom because that would be nasty.
Yeah, that's true.
But whatever. Kids, no roller skating in bathrooms.
Exactly.
Not a law, just good advice.
Yeah. And I have another question. So, as far as, do you have any stories about where a woman or women did something that was crazy to you in any way?
Oh, man. I have a lot of crazy women stories. But in that regards, men are crazy too. So I don't want to put...
Do you have any stories of men that were crazy?
I think just humans in general are crazy. Yeah, I mean, definitely I've had some women do lots of crazy things, like literally get me arrested.
Really?
Post things on the internet that were not true, or they were true, but it was one-sided. It's like, yeah, that was true, but yet there was still another side that actually kind of counteracted that.
Yeah.
So it's like it should have been an issue, but someone still blasted it on there. So yeah. But at the same time, I love women. I'm a big fan of women, and
they're the greatest.
Huh?
They are the greatest, aren't they?
They are the greatest. Yeah. And I can even, acknowledge beauty in transgenders. You know, who are, going.
I had a trans model on the show.
What's that?
I don't know if you recognized. I did have a trans model on the show.
I think I might have seen some. I don't know if I watched that episode, but I think it's great. I'm introduced to a lot of different people out there in this world, and I think it's great. I think just like the universe, where we have this spectrum, we have this spectrum of light, we have spectrum of electromagnetic energy, we have just all these spectrums in life. Well, it makes sense that we would have a broad spectrum of humans and personalities and walks of life. and we should be accepting them all because we're all beautiful
Yeah,
little
when do you think
snowflakes.
gay marriage will be legal, like nationally? When do you
I
think?
thought it was already.
Is it?
I don't know,
Yeah, I don't think so.
but it should be. But I know in some places that it's not, and for those folks in the places that it's not, I'm sorry.
Move to California.
I think you should have a right in America to do whatever you want as long as it's doesn't hurt others or whatever.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Yeah.
When's the last time that you listened to Metallica or
Just the other day.
went to a concert?
Well, a Metallica concert, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But I've been to other concerts since then. I've seen
Such
Kiss and I've.
When's the last time you saw them?
What's that?
Kiss.
I think it was just last year or the year before. Yeah, it was one of their last shows when they went through Portland here at the Motor Center. Uh-huh. But just the other day, dude, I was just working on some Metallica. For me, I'm a bass player, so I was working on bass lines, specifically Anesthesia Pulling Teeth, which is Cliff Burton, one of his songs that he played.
Nice. Who's your favorite bass player?
I would have to say Cliff Burton.
Yeah.
But I am also a big fan of Geddy Lee, from Rush.
Yeah.
And Tool. Chancellor. Dustin or Justin Chancellor, I think is his name. The bass player from Tool. So I'm a big fan of them. Oh, Korn. Love the bass player from Korn. Fieldy.
What about drummer? Who's your
Drummer. Oh, man.
favorite? You heard about the guy that died? Neil Peart?
Yes,
Rush?
I did. I'm so sad that he
Yeah.
died of cancer, and it's just the fate that we all will eventually, happen to us. Dude, I mean, honestly, I think there's a Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater,
Yeah.
and then of course Neil Peart or Pert, yeah, is the other one. Dude, I had a great drummer in Austin, Texas that I grew up with. His name is Mark.
Okay.
He and I were neighborhood friends, and he was actually an amazing drummer as well. So yeah. But I like all drummers. But yeah, there's some that are good and some that are bad. But yeah. Some stand out more than others.
What are some bad ones?
What are some bad ones?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I've had a couple of bad ones just growing up, but they will remain nameless.
timing,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to bust them out. Yeah,
That's
because
the
we all had
issue
our
with the
good
drummer.
bad phases.
Like a bad drummer issue. I think the issue is they always do the same beat over and over, and their timing can be off a little bit. Like
Yeah.
if you don't do those two things right, I think it's like everything else. It's like fine, just get your timing right. Right? Is that the most important thing you say?
Yeah, the timing, but I think most importantly for me is
Be able to play different beats.
being able to just go with the flow and being creative and actually just playing your instrument
Yeah.
as opposing to just being a robot and just playing the time. Don't be so robotic. Be more human. Add, embellish.
Improvisation,
Yeah. Become the instrument.
Some drum fills. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you write original songs?
I do. Everything I write is original. I very rarely will do a cover. If I do, it's of a famous, a popular, band, Metallica, Korn, Five Finger Death Punch. I love, Beethoven, Mozart, all those other guys.
Yeah.
I have a broad spectrum of interest. Everybody likes hip hop and rap, and so now I'm trying to learn, taking some, inspiration from them and how to, create new music. Yeah, but I only write original music. I don't copy anybody else, but I do take inspiration, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So how old were you when you wrote your first song?
16, 17 I was.
Nice.
When I wrote my first song, yeah. And it wasn't even a song like everyone else thinks about. It was just a bass line.
Okay.
It didn't have any lyrics to it, but it did have some elements and features that are now present in music now. So back then it was just I didn't really know what I was doing, so I wrote some things that were really short and sweet, right?
Yeah.
And now, and that was in the early 90s, mid 90s, fast forward now, and music now is actually kind of copying that same format where it's just short, sweet, and right to the point. So I'm kind of Yeah, happy that it worked out that way. But that was my first song. I call it Confusion. I still play it on occasion to this day. Yeah,
Nice.
and I think it's in E.
Very cool.
Standard E.
When's the last time you wrote a song? Like this year or last year?
Well, we're working on new music right now as we speak. Yeah, actually, no. You know what? Actually, no. I actually wrote 2 jingles just the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you record them?
No, I record them in my mind and I record them on my phone, but I don't actually record them and release them. But I do like copy them, like on a rough draft thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Yeah, they were 2 jingles for 2 commercials. I don't want to say what they were, but yes, I do. I record all the time, dude. Yeah, seriously,
Nice.
I'm weird like that.
How long have you been playing guitar?
I think I was like 16, 15.
Nice.
Shit. Oh man, I'm not really good at math. Shit. But yeah, I was a young teenager, and it was around the time when the Metallica Enter Sandman, the Black Album came out.
Mm.
And so that kind of drew me in. It was literally that song, Enter Sandman, from the Black Album.
Yeah, you were saying that last
I want to say it was early 90s, so I must have been, early to mid-teens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't really good at it, honestly. Let's just be honest. I started out with guitar. I didn't have any of the cool effects. I didn't have anything of the cool amps. I just had a Kramer 6-string guitar that was $99 from J.C. Penney's, and then a little PV backstage 15 amp, 15 watt solid state, and it was horrible. And then I put it down, and then I picked up the bass, and then it makes sense.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about some Portland issues.
Oh man.
How in the world did Portland become like the center of a right-wing war in the United States? Can you fill me in on this, Fred?
I'm going to do my best, just from my limited knowledge from the news and observing as an outsider from Texas, living here now for a long time.
Yeah.
It seems to be, there is definitely that right versus left, and predominantly because it seems to be we have a lot of white people up here.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. It's predominantly white. I don't have the numbers on me, but I'm pretty sure it's majority of white, which is fine. But then I think some of the people have been, liberal in their freedom and take it sometimes to the extreme.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay to have negative views and opposing views and things that, normal people don't agree with, and that's your lifestyle, that's fine. But when you start throwing cement milkshakes at each other, I know that it really didn't happen, but, something like that, or when you take it to violence in the extreme and you have police involvement, it's not healthy.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to have opposing views, but not like racist hatred or things like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why it is like that. I just think it's just because America started from the East Coast and slowly worked its way to the West Coast. So I think that some of the views of the world are just slowly working its way here. And so now it's just kind of catching up a little bit late.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what? You go to Texas and they got hate. You go, I will say there is no hate on the North Pole. There is no hate. There's no hate on the North Pole. And I don't think there's any hate in Antarctica. But pretty much everywhere else, they got hate.
South Pole?
Yeah, there shouldn't be any hate. I think there's only like 12 or 15 people on the South Pole. But the North Pole, I flew over there. There was nobody over there. And it was quiet. It was beautiful. And, there was no hate there.
Nice. Have you ever been to Iceland?
No, I haven't been to Iceland. No. But I've been pretty close. I mean, I married my first wife on Denmark. So it's on the North Sea. And so, it's kind of closer, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
What were you doing in Denmark when you met your wife?
Well, we went to Denmark for our marriage/honeymoon, all kind of wrapped into one. So we went to Denmark to get married, but we were stationed in Germany at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first wife.
Nice. Are you a Beatles fan? Like a huge Beatles fan?
Beatles fan?
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. I wasn't as a kid.
Yeah.
My mom and dad are deaf, so we didn't really listen to music. So it wasn't until years later I heard of them, but I didn't really kind of make the connection. But then I do now have an appreciation and a love as an adult for the Beatles now. Yeah, I do.
Nice.
And I play Come Together
Yeah.
is a song that if I do cover, I would
Wow.
definitely play that
That's not
cover.
an easy one actually to cover.
It is, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some more Portland news, actually.
Ooh.
Did you know that there was this off-duty Portland fire lieutenant that got stabbed at this downtown Portland bar?
I did hear about that, but I don't know anything about that.
They're investigating the stabbing at this, at a bar in Southwest Morrison Street, and the police were called to Kingston Sports Bar and Grill at basically 8:05 p.m. And a woman called 911 to report that her husband had been randomly stabbed by a stranger. Crazy.
That is crazy, but that just sounds like Portland. I mean, this place is kind of
Yeah, I had actually there
crazy.
was a gun shooting right outside my building, 4 blocks away around, and I was on the news, the Fox, and they interviewed me.
Oh my God, you were yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry.
I didn't get it. I didn't have nothing happening to me. I just
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
to be up at the time, and I checked Twitter, and then this lady was like, "Can I come to your place and interview you since you heard the shots?" And I was like, "Yeah, it sounded like machine gun fire." Even though I don't really know exactly what machine gun fire is, unless you call it Call of Duty, basically.
Go with your gut. If you
Yeah.
thought you heard machine gun fire, that's what you thought you heard, and you just got to say it.
Exactly, that's what
Yeah.
I said.
One of the hardest things is to try to keep count of how many shots there were fired. Now, that's the trick.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, did
Then
I
they
hear
said
10 or was that 20?
They were like, "How long did it last?" And I was like, 5 to 10
I
seconds.
don't know. Kind of went like this. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Well, in the military, we had a, I don't know if I can talk about this, but we had some equipment that kind of helped us eliminate the question of which direction did the gunfire come from.
Yeah.
And so with a nice little omnidirectional microphone system, we had a thing inside our vehicle that would tell us which side of the vehicle the fire, direct, indirect fire, or direct fire was coming from.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And another story. Did you know that they on a traffic stop in Portland, somebody had an illegally possessed firearm, and these 3 guys, these black guys, it looks like, are behind bars. The police pull over a vehicle at Southeast 142nd and Division, and then they learn the passenger was associating with 2 others involved in gun violence. So the officers spot a gun in the car during the stop, and they seize a semi-automatic handgun. Does that sound like Portland to you?
Yep, that totally does.
What's
Yeah.
up with the crime? Why do you think it's so bad here? Is it corrupt? What's the deal?
Oh, I think it's a big myriad of things, and
The police chief's leaving a fucking
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Chicago
co-
and stuff.
no, I just think it's just a combination of, inflation going up, the value of the dollar going down, housing going up.
Did the cops really care?
I
to
think
stop
money,
what's
honestly, I
going
think-
on? Because it is about money. Because the police commissioner went to Chicago, so she doesn't care to help Portland anymore. She just wants to help her career.
I know, and that woman was making easily over 200 grand, and so
like,
I
"My
can't
job
imagine
is
what
done
she's being
here."
paid in
She's
Chicago.
like, "My job is done here. I'm going to now fix Chicago." And
But
she
I
didn't
kind of had a
fix
feeling
Port-
when I first saw her on the TV. I'm like, oh, she's not going to last very long.
She never fixed Portland. She didn't do anything.
No.
Anything,
Yeah,
she
I
made
know
it
who you're
worse,
talking about.
bro.
What was her name?
I forget. But that's
Yeah, I know her. I mean, I don't know her personally, but I know of her on the TV. Yeah, yeah, I got you.
I wonder what her name was. I don't know, but
It was like Danger or Steel or something like that.
Danielle Outlaw,
Daniel Outlaw. That's what it was. Perfect.
Philadelphia police commissioner. She accepted the job, and she was only here for 2 years and 2 months, leading the 1,000-member force during a time of mass political protests and community mistrust. And I don't think.
But you know what? At the same time, I kind of don't blame her because I think the way the government here in Portland is a little bit old. I think we have this weird commission form of government,
Okay.
and everyone else in the nation has abandoned that. And so we're like the last major city in the United States to have this form of government. And maybe it works for Portland, or maybe it did for Portland years ago, but I think Portland today may need to kind of catch up with the times and maybe
It's the last remaining commission form of government.
Thank you.
All the large cities in the United States
Have abandoned this form of government. So I think if we just stopped doing the way that we would normally do business here, I think it would be a little bit better.
Why do you think they're holding on to that? Is it corrupt?
I do know why. I think because everyone loves their neighborhood, everyone wants to be special, and everyone wants to have a voice, and everyone wants to be heard, and their project is more important than this other person's project. And I don't know. I mean, it's a whole bunch of things, but honestly, it comes down to one thing: humans. You have humans involved, and a lot of these humans have nothing better to do with their lives than to bother other people's lives and make problems for other people. Yeah.
Basically.
But I think it starts with the form of government that we have. So I don't blame her for abandoning ship. I mean, I love Portland, but eventually I'm going to not be able to afford to live here.
Yeah, I agree.
There's
My
like
rent's
this
been
little
going
weird curve, and if I make this amount of money and it doesn't change, but the cost of living goes up, eventually, oh my gosh, 5 years from now, I will have to probably think about moving or maybe making more money.
My rent's gone up.
Yeah.
Like $100 and $110 instead, and my parking garage also has gone up.
Yep.
It was $190 when I first started. Now it's $225. It's like
Yeah. My rent went up, and then
with $225 for my garage.
But to offset that, I got rid of my parking spot. So now I'm just stuck with parking on the street.
That's so good. I used to do that in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but yeah, I got you. Yeah, so my rent went up too as well. Yeah, it just sucks, man. Yeah, so I think of
You ever heard of Portland City Club?
that sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm gonna have to say no.
They're apparently like an influential club, and they're recommending an overhaul of the city's commission form of government, prompting debate among the council members of Portland City. So
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
you're not the only one that wants this, so maybe they should do it. And it doesn't make sense when you tell me that. Like, that's the last one. It's like, it's not a good idea.
I was surprised. I was actually surprised, but then now after having being lived here for a while, it actually makes sense why this place is so
12
messed
years
up.
ago, they tried to change it, but it was rejected. And no, it's like, why? I'm thinking corruption. But
That's what it is follow the money. In my line of work, we would follow the money.
yeah,
What's going on here? There's special interests that people want to protect. It's all about money, and I'm
These
fine with that.
certain
You know,
jobs
that's
people don't
free commerce, I guess, capitalism, whatever at its finest.
yeah.
Yeah, it's legal, but it has its drawbacks, and so we have a lot of homeless people living on the highways, and they're only living on the highways because they don't really have any place else to go, and really the highway department's not going to bother them.
Yeah.
So they found a loophole. But I guess if I were in that position, I guess I would do whatever it took, I guess. But I don't know, man. I'd just rather not be there. I don't think America should allow people to get like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You
But
got to hear this story, Fred.
Uh-oh.
All right, so this dude hijacks a Portland airport monitor to play video games. So the PDX officials declared game over. So get this. He decides he needed a bigger screen for his video games, Fred.
Yeah. I feel his pain.
Thursday, and he found
Dude,
found one.
God bless this kid, because I've been stuck at airports in foreign countries for more than 24 to 48 hours.
Right.
And one time I was in Afghanistan for 10 days waiting for an airplane back to my base. So believe me, I know this kid's pain. It was wrong of him to do that because, that was
PlayStation 4 and 2. It normally would show a map of the airport, but
I heard he was really nice and said, "Can I please finish my game?" And they're like, "No."
Can we save the game?
Yes, right? No, yeah. So that's crazy. But I know that kid's pain, though.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Your little gaming system or your phone, your batteries die. And it's like, man. And it's really sucking on the gameplay. Just nothing beats a really good console with like a real joystick and buttons.
I'm a hardcore gamer, so
yeah.
I know that you said you got into the Call of Duty phone game, but
dude, I'm all about the Call of Duty mobile. It is on the phone. Yeah.
I got a tablet and I downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet. I have Call of Duty on my PlayStation 4, and I also haven't played it. I'm so obsessed with this game called NHL 20 that I won't even play any other games.
What's it called?
NHL 20. It's just
I've never heard of that.
every year this company called EA Sports
I've heard of EA Sports.
They
Yeah,
make
yeah.
a game. You know, they've been doing it since NHL '93, NHL '94. So
Oh, got
I usually get it
you.
every year. So I got this year's version's amazing, and I just like can't stop playing it basically.
So you're a hockey fan.
Yeah, I'm a New York Islanders fan actually.
Okay.
So I'm from New York. So
Can you play hockey in real life?
nah. See, the thing is,
I can skate, but I don't hockey.
you got to live around a northern area, and I lived in New York, which wasn't northern enough.
No.
Like, yeah.
No.
So if you live in Maine or if you live in Canada, like that's it.
Canada, eh?
Canada, it's like there's a good chance you're gonna play in like a real league, like when you.
For real.
That's all they have to do around there, is what I heard when my friend explained it to me. Have you been to Canada? You said you had, right?
I did. Yeah, I went to. I've been to what do you call that? Vancouver, BC. But my favorite time in Vancouver would have been the Algonquin Quetico Provincial Park.
Okay.
I went to when I think I was a Boy Scout,
Okay.
and we had the High Adventure base at in
boy.
Canada, and so we did.
Jamboree.
It wasn't a jamboree. It was
Okay.
it was just specifically to do like the canoeing merit badge or
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
did like 70 miles, on a canoe, and
Did you get Eagle Scout?
spent like 10 days. I made one rank below Eagle Scout. It's called a Life Scout. So I
Nice.
almost made the rank of Eagle
Oh,
Scout.
I remember Life Scout. Yeah.
Yep, but unfortunately I became a Life Scout because for some reason at that time it just wasn't really cool to be a Boy Scout.
Yeah, that.
And I had other
happens.
things
Once
going
you grow
on at
up
the time.
to that age, you're like, oh wait, I'm too old.
16 years old, it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. You're like, I should have got Eagle Scout when I was younger.
yeah, I
but
probably
then it's
should
too
have,
late.
but yeah.
It's too late. You can't even do it.
Once
that
you
early.
turn 18, you're screwed. Yeah, so I dropped out early on, and I should have stayed in. But no, I made it almost made Eagle Scout, one rank below.
Yeah.
They call it Life Scout. Yeah.
Were you also in it with Cub Scouts, Tiger Scouts, Weeblos? Like,
Yep.
me too.
I was a Cub Scout, and I made
Was
Weeblo.
your dad involved at all?
My dad was.
My dad was involved too.
Was yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He
My
loved
dad was.
camping.
He did exactly right. Yeah, my dad was the like the assistant den leader at the time, and
Yeah, mine too.
he didn't always make the campouts, but
My dad
on
loved
Monday
the
nights
camp.
he was definitely there for scout activities to help
Yeah.
us work on our merit badges and things. Yeah.
Did you do the soapbox derby? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Pinewood Derby.
Pinewood Derby. That
Yep,
was the best.
Yep. And
Was it magnetized? Is that how it worked? No,
no,
that
it's
was
just gravity.
Yeah, you're right.
But you got to build it right.
It was so
and
cool.
there's little tricks to it. There's like some rocket science involved with this, and
Yeah,
but
aerodynamics.
But mine were never really that good, so I never had like a winning race car.
Did your dad help you build yours as well?
Yeah, he gave me some instructions and a couple of like, modifications that he suggested,
Yeah.
but we never like
I think my dad
took
basi-
on the whole world.
I think my dad basically built mine. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Oh, did he? No, my dad was pretty adamant. No, you are going to build it yourself. But yeah, they
Yeah.
were not. I mean, they were okay. I was proud of it. Yeah, but no, it wasn't like rocket powered or nothing.
Yeah.
I should have probably made a nuclear solar powered one, but I just wasn't that smart. Still probably not that smart, actually. I'm sure everybody's thinking, yeah, Fred.
Going back to the military. Now, why did you choose the branch that you chose to join?
All right. It was process of elimination. So my grandfather was Air Force, and I really wanted to do the Air Force.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I dropped out of high school.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had my GED. So I went to the Air Force and said, hey, I'd like to join the Air Force. But this was during the Clinton administration. So this was like 95, 96.
Mm-hmm.
And so they said, no, we're not taking anybody with a GED. You got to have college. And I said, oh, well, shit. Well, which branch of the military takes GEDs? And the guy goes, oh, well, the Army takes GEDs. So I said,
Yeah.
okay. And I literally walked out of his office and went next door to the Army office and said, hi, I'd like to sign up for the Army.
Yeah.
So it was kind of by default. I had no choice. They were the only ones that were taking anybody. I mean, I could have joined the Marines, but the Army was the better option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you end up going for a GED instead of a normal diploma?
I think probably because at the time, school was just really slow for me. I was one of those smart kids in class
Yeah.
that always got A's and B's,
Yeah.
but it was just taking too long. and I didn't like politics, and I didn't really do well as far as like, hobnobbing and bullshitting with people, and even though I was good in athletics and I was good in academics, I was
Yeah.
never really a jock nor a nerd. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Mhm.
So I just said fuck this. I wanted to work. I wanted to work and make money, baby. That's
Yeah,
what
man.
America's all about. Capitalism. I wanted to work and make money. So in Texas, you can be 16 and be on your own, and so that's what I wanted. I wanted to be a man. So
Yeah.
I wanted to grow up and be a man and make money and do adult things as a
Speaking
kid.
of making money.
What's that?
Speaking of making money,
Yeah.
before you go, you said you had some T-shirts that you've been selling, right? And you've been working on.
I got a lot of products, but mainly my big sellers have been my T-shirts, and then now with the new laws in Oregon, my tote bags are really selling
Nice.
really well. I don't know if you can see that.
Where can somebody get that? Yeah.
On my Redbubble site. It's redbubble.com/people/Fred Seghetti.
Yeah, send me the messenger
I
the
will,
link,
yeah.
and then
But
I'll
yeah,
put
I
it in
have-
the description.
There's the tote bags. I got this other shirt that's a big seller here, and of course I got all my veterans inspired T-shirts. This
move
is
it
an
that
Army
way.
one. This is one example, but I have
Nice.
others. I have all branches, so
Okay.
I'm not just favored.
You
to the-
design these?
I design all of them myself.
How
Yes.
did you design it? Like on the computer?
Yeah, I usually start off with an
iPad?
idea in my head, or a friend of mine will suggest some design or idea, and then
Yeah.
I'll draw it out, and then I'll put it on Photoshop, and then I upload it to some websites, and then they
And you put a seasoning shirt as well. So the best of
Oh
both
yeah,
worlds.
yeah. Of course, you got.
It's like a double whammy.
I got my seasoning company, and believe it or not, this is kind of a retro
That shirt's awesome. I would want that shirt.
inspired shirt, and
I'd
people
wear that
love
shirt,
buying it.
man. I'd wear that every day.
Goes great with my seasoning and my.
How's the
spices.
sales going on the seasoning?
Sales are good. They're picking up now, and now I have one new flavor that I've released this month,
Really?
and then I have.
You didn't tell me you had a new flavor?
I have new flavors, yeah, with more coming this soon, but they
I
haven't
would
been
have took that
officially
sample.
released it. Yeah, what's that?
I would have took the new flavor sample.
Oh, I don't have any flavor samples. Literally, it's
Okay.
in the making as we speak, but it will be
Have
released.
to have you come
this
back
month.
on when that comes back out.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
So
And
yeah, I
then,
think you started
other
doing.
than that-
You were on the podcast. You started killing it ever since you were on the podcast.
Yeah, that definitely helped, dude. Yeah, but same with you too. I mean, I've watched your podcast since we first started this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, you've gotten better, and
Thanks, man.
the whole program's been amazing, and it's yeah. Thanks for having me here, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's-
So yeah, those are my my little
What
projects
is
here.
this over here?
Oh, I do have my I do sell canvas art pieces too of my work. These are
Nice.
digital reproductions, but if anyone wants a real art piece, I can make an oil painting if they want. But
You were trained as an artist, or
not officially. I like a musician. I'm self-taught.
yeah.
I'm what
Bob
they call an
Ross?
autodidacta.
Yeah.
I'm self-taught, so everything I know, I'm for
How
the most
did
part.
you teach
self-taught.
yourself though? Like YouTube videos, or
No,
just taught you? Like
just in my head,
Yeah,
or I
yeah.
see other people like Bob Ross,
Bob Ross is what I'm gonna say.
or I don't know, whatever painter. There was a woman who paints, but she does like palette knifing. I think his name like Susanna something. I can't remember her name, but there's a lot of great. Oh, Thomas Kincaid is another great inspiration of mine.
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, all those guys. Everybody in the Ninja Turtle team. No, I'm just
Nice.
kidding.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Oh man, my favorite Ninja Turtle, man, it's a toss-up between Leonardo and Donatello because
Correct answers.
yeah.
And you were recently hammering out some new jams in your studio.
Yeah, dude, I've been working with my guitar player Jim for many years, and yeah, we've been working on some new music. We have some old songs that we've been perfecting, and then we
Yeah.
have some new jams. Yeah, some new music. Yeah, so instead of using like standard tuning,
Yeah.
E, A, D, G, whatever, we're changing the tuning. Maybe like using B or
Really?
C or D, like drop D.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying new things, keeping them short, keeping them simple, and
Not as
these
mainstream.
what's that?
Not as mainstream. More like arts, kind of like indie.
Yeah, indie rock. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, totally rock. Yeah, but stuff that you can listen to while you're driving on a long road trip or
Yeah.
doing chores at the house. Yeah,
Yeah.
or doing your homework for school, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any recordings, man? Like,
We do, absolutely. We do, yeah. Well, they're on the website. You can find some of our stuff on Reverb Nation,
okay.
reverbnation.com/Fred
I should
Seghetti.
have had you send me the track. I could have put in the outro, but I can put in the audio podcast if you
You
want.
got it. I like that. Yeah, we'll do that.
Sounds
Yeah, yeah.
fun.
Yeah, Angels Fall from Grace is the one we have out there. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I think those are all the projects that I have going on right now.
Nice.
Like I said, the big thing is my new motorcycle. I'm just waiting for that thing to come in.
Yeah, the 2020 Ninja 650 ABS, right?
Yes, sir. You got it. Got to have ABS,
Well, they said it
man.
would be here by Christmas or New Year, so if I was you, I'd kind of be really disappointed. I mean, you should at least get some compensation or something.
You know what? Actually, I will say this. Granted, they were not quite. They didn't hit the mark on when they promised it was going to be delivered, but they did give me a military discount.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they were really cool about that. And then
Because of the issue that happened?
what's that?
Because of the issue or just because?
Oh, actually, because of the issue, yeah, I got a discount on the tax break too. Normally, as an Oregon resident being in Washington, you'd have to pay these taxes and all that. So they're kind of
Yeah.
waived that, so I don't have to.
That's cool.
So yeah, they did help me out on that.
I also see that you're on the Nextdoor app. You're putting Seghetti's top seasoning. What are some other ways that you market the spices?
Well, for me, it's just word of mouth mostly, or
Yeah.
I will reach out to a business owner and ask them if they
Great idea.
would like my seasoning in their store.
Do you actually walk into the store with the seasoning and
Pretty much
offer,
I do,
to
yeah.
try it out and stuff?
Yep.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's really proactive.
But I always start out as a customer first.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's
not
a
really
really great idea.
Any
yeah.
expectation. If they want me, they do. If they don't, they don't. But, I would say a third of the customers say yes.
That's a good approach, man.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
most people just want good flavor in their food, and that's what I provide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still working on my cookbook. Unfortunately, I had my laptop stolen, and
I
so
hate
I
when I
lost
hear
a lot of it. So I had to start all over again. But thankfully, I had my hand notes that were still left over, and so I'm still working on my cookbook. So hopefully, I have that. Hopefully by the end of this year, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, buddy.
And what kind of mediums do you work on with art? Like you had a carbon graphic design that you did recently?
I mean, I do like using pen and paper.
Yeah.
That's usually how I start with. Yeah, charcoal or graphite.
Okay.
Yeah, or carbon fiber, whatever. But yeah, either way, just carbon. And
what
then
inspires you to do art? Like,
a lot of things inspire me.
Women?
The world inspires me,
Yeah.
and other people inspire me. People like you and people down here,
Yeah.
downtown, other artists.
have you been to Art Walk?
I have, yeah, and I
Downtown right here?
Yep, I used to be part of Art Walk, a big part of it in the early 2000s.
Really?
Yep.
That's
But
so
unfortunately, I was just spending more money than I was making.
cool. Yeah.
So I kind of,
What inspired the Trump centipede painting? Is that what that is? Trump centipede
my
flow
God,
chart,
the Trump, Nunes,
transparent
Putin,
sticker.
human centipede.
Yeah.
That was from it was a TV show. I can't remember what it was. It was like Trevor Noah or The Daily Show. I can't remember what it was, but they actually gave me the idea for it, and I thought, you know what, that would be a great T-shirt. Yeah, that's another one of my new big sellers that is pretty popular. Yeah, but I try to stay out of politics because I don't like politics. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I think what humans are doing to this world is pretty crazy, and we need to stop this. But we have this system, and apparently everyone's okay having it around, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I just, try to make light of a situation, and yeah, that was one of the ones that kind of inspired me.
Nice.
Because they're all cahoots. They all kind of feed off each other,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So I thought a human centipede was a great way to showcase that kind of relationship.
Did you see that movie?
I have not.
Me neither. I'm too scared.
So I only learned it from the internet and YouTube. So I get the reference,
Yeah.
but I have not seen the movie. I don't like movies like that, but I get the concept, and I have a big imagination. I get it. I don't have to see the movie.
What movie scared you more than any other movie?
Dude, the biggest movie that scared me was Jaws.
Really?
Yeah, and I was a kid when I saw that, so obviously I
Nice.
was way too young to have seen it. And dude, I just haven't been right since. Like I don't even like to go in the tub
Wow.
without making sure if I can see the bottom. There's too many bubbles. I got to part the bubbles in my rubber ducky and be like, "Is it safe?" Oh.
Yeah, for me it was The Ring.
Which one?
The Ring. I
The
only watched
Ring,
20
The
minutes
Ring.
of it, but I saw the scene when they open the closet and the girl's like standing there. It's like scariest thing ever, and I just
I
deleted.
remember the preview for that, and that's another movie I just did not see. Yeah. Another movie would be like Godzilla or Freddy Krueger. Yeah. It was when I was young. Yeah. Nowadays I'm an old, so I've seen dead bodies. That doesn't really bother me now. And in fact, I look at the TV and I'm like, oh, that's fake. That's not real. Yeah, the movies don't really impress me or scare me anymore.
Yeah.
But Jaws, dude, trust me, when I'm on a boat in the ocean, that's the always thing in my back of my mind if I'm going swimming. When
Yeah.
is that fucking shark going to eat my ass? Seriously. Sorry,
Nice.
I don't mean to cuss. Sorry, folks.
No problem.
I don't want to get my butt eaten by a shark.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks so much for coming in, Fred.
Dude, Joe, thanks for having me on here, man. We got to do it again. But
Absolutely.
I want to bring my guitars next time, so hopefully everybody will comment in the section and encourage my guitar player to join us because he's really funny. Like, I think you folks at home would enjoy meeting him and hearing our music too. Yeah.
All right. Stopping it now.